What's going on, everybody? It's your man Cleveland Terry, and it is 12:15 in the morning, but I have some breaking news. Once again, if you are new here, this is what we do. We talk about all things DJ related, whether that be DJ gear, DJ gig logs, DJ business 101, and sometimes DJ breaking news. If that sounds like something you are interested in, hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know the next time I post, and obviously hit that bell notification, because how would you know unless you hit the bell notification? Okay, I don't want to take too much time because it is late. I want to go to bed, but I do want to talk about this a little bit. Now, we are aware, a couple of weeks ago, the announcement was made that Alpha Theta, that is the parent company of Pioneer DJ, is trying to acquire Serato systems, Serato software. We thought everything was fine. I actually did a live on it. We discussed it. We talked about the possible scenarios, what we could expect. And even after the fact, InMusic came on, I believe they came on the record and said, you know what, we have good working relationship with Serato. I'm sure that, it will continue on. And Serato came out and said, we have a great working relationship with all of our vendors, including InMusic. So there shouldn't be any problem. We are our own entity. Alpha Theta might own us, but we are our own entity. We are going to do our things outside of what Pioneer DJ does. Alpha Theta is the umbrella, the corporate. Same thing with InMusic. InMusic owns lots of brands, and every brand kind of operates autonomously, give or take. I know that there's some that definitely have more synergy than others, but in general, they're supposed to operate separately. So why am I shooting this video at 18 in the morning? Well, that's because an article was sent to me earlier today that I think people should know about. And spoiler alert, it looks like we're going to war. We're going to war. So this article, which was posted August 22nd, U.S. firm waives prospect of legal action to stop $100 million buyout of NZ software firm Serato. Now, what would this U.S. firm be? I don't know. Could it be InMusic? Yes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this article and kind of just give my 2 cents on it. There's nothing factual about what I'm saying. It's just an opinion. What I'm trying to give a balanced perspective on it. So we'll just go through this document and we'll talk about it. United States audio equipment manufacturer InMusic says it's investigating taking legal action in several countries to try to block a 100 million plus acquisition of Serato. Serato makes software that InMusic incorporates into equipment that it sells to DJs, and InMusic chief executive Jack O'Donnell, that's the boss, feared its sale would hand a monopoly to its rival in the global niche. The company acquiring Serato is Alpha Theta, a spinoff of InMusic's main rival, Japanese consumer electronics giant Pioneer, and O'Donnell believes it would not be practical for InMusic to continue using Serato software if the deal was completed. So they're saying if that deal happens, it doesn't make sense to continue to use Serato in any of their company's products. Let's go on. Jack says, when we work with Serato, we give them our product up to a year ahead of time so they can analyze it and put the software in. If I was handing it to the new dominant player, I'm essentially handing it to my competitor. So let's just stop right there for a minute. Now, look, I'm not disagreeing that there's always a potential for people to, steal some of your proprietary creations. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I'm also saying that, we're in a world right now where synergistically, did I just make that word up? I think it's a real word. Synergistically, everybody has their hands in everything. It is a very, very small world. I think of companies like Apple, Apple makes an iPhone, but They get parts from Samsung. They get parts from, TSC. They get parts from, what is the other one? LG. They get parts from everybody. So all of these companies technically know what's happening. Does that stop iPhone from being a ridiculous seller? From where I stand, it doesn't look like that's necessarily the case. Now, again, doesn't mean it's not possible. And I'm sure we've had a lot of situations where, the iPhone will come out with something and then, hey, what do you know? Samsung comes out with something just like it. Is it because they had it earlier? Who knows? Let's continue to read. Pioneer was the other major supplier of DJ software, Rekordbox, and had about 72% share of the global market for DJ audio equipment, while InMusic has about 18%, is what he said. I don't know if that's true or not. I assume that it was a little bigger than that, but Pioneer makes a lot of products. The acquisition of Serato by Alpha Theta would essentially eliminate competition, creating a monopoly for the DJ industry. I am quite confident what's happening here, and it's an outrage as far as I'm concerned. In any market, when you eliminate competition, it has the effect on consumers. It's going to raise prices, eliminate innovation, and limit choice. So it's a big thing for a small industry. Well, that remains to be seen because we actually don't know exactly how the software is going to break apart. As far as from where I stand in talking to Serato, Serato was very upfront in saying, we're going to continue working with our companies. So I can't see how it's a monopoly when they're still serving everybody. It'd be a different situation altogether if Alpha Theta comes in, buys Serato, and then Serato says, we're no longer offering our software to other companies. Now there's an issue, but that's not what they're describing. O'Donnell said he didn't really see any options for InMusic if the acquisition did proceed. It would take InMusic 3 to 5 years to develop its own software from scratch, and even then it would be chasing a tail. Once DJs are used to using one type of software, they have little incentive to learn something else, he said. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. Again, objective, okay? I'm just looking at it from both sides. Now, to say that it would take 3 to 5 years to come out with a new software, they do have this little thing called Engine OS. Now, remember, Engine OS is an InMusic software built in-house, and it is through all of their products, not the Serato products, obviously, but in some cases, you can use both Engine OS and Serato. So I feel like if you were to take a look from the other side of this whole thing, okay, and we were to say that Serato was on its own, and then InMusic came out with Engine OS, and they started pushing Engine OS on a lot of their products. If I'm Serato and I'm sitting back, I'm saying, well, if they're making a product, if they're making software to go with their hardware, we are being put in a disadvantage also, because now there's the potential for people to not use our software. Now we lose out on licensing fees, we lose out on all these abilities, and now we're in a situation where we only have, Pioneer DJ to sell our services to as the major company out there. So it feels a little hypocritical for them to say that, first off, that they couldn't do it because they have done it. It's already out there. They're updating it as we speak. They just came out with another update for Engine OS. So yes, maybe from the historical gear, you could not put Engine OS onto that stuff unless you were to build a actual PC-based Engine OS, which could definitely be in the cards. But that doesn't mean that any product going forward couldn't just have Engine OS in there and be all in ones in every single product they come out with. And that's one of the fears that Serato probably had too. If I look outside and I look at every company out there, whether that be Pioneer DJ, whether it be Algorithm DJ, Virtual DJ, whether it be Hercules, they all have their own software. These hardware companies are building their own software for their hardware. What's the incentive for a company like Serato to continue to, be productive and to not be concerned about the future of Serato. So I can see why they would want to sell and to protect themselves a little bit. Let's keep reading. A Commerce Commission spokesperson said it was making inquiries to understand how the transaction could affect competition, while making clear its remit was to consider markets in New Zealand. It has not received a clear or authorization application from Alpha Theta for the acquisition, she said. O'Donnell said InMusic had engaged legal representation in the US, UK, and Japan. While New Zealand is the battleground, this is a global fight and this is a global issue, he said. So they are pursuing legal action to try to stop the sale. We're in early discussions with them, but we think we have a legal grounds to fight in multiple jurisdictions. Serato's decision to sell Alpha Theta was a complete shock. So for years, Serato has indicated that they were worried about the dominance of Pioneer and fighting their dominance. We felt like we had a great partner that was continually saying, let's give you features, let's make sure you compete. So we felt we had a partnership. But he said he couldn't say whether he felt it had been misled by Serato in any actionable way. Serato has been approached for comment. So, look, obviously we're dealing with some hurt feelings here. Okay. But I still believe that there is opportunity for everybody in here. And like I said before, I am not getting any indication from anybody I've spoke to at Serato, or Pioneer DJ that their intention was to just shut down Serato for everybody outside of Pioneer DJ. That has not been my takeaway from it. It's kind of hard for me to sit here and think that both sides have an argument here. If Engine OS did not exist and Serato was their only software that they used, and then Pioneer DJ came and purchased them, I completely agree. That argument is completely valid. Now I'm concerned that you're taking away my ability to sell my products. Because if you decide that you're going to just turn it off, then we just lose access. That I understand. But for years now, since the Prime 4, Engine OS has been out there continuing to push forward, continuing to make upgrades, continuing to, try to take people away from their competitors. The best way to get people into your software, if you really want people to move into your software, is to make it available cross-platform, is to say, fine, Serato works on this hardware, but so does Engine OS. We're not telling you have to use Engine OS, but go ahead and take a look. And then if you like it, then you stick with it. It just seems hypocritical to me, okay? In the nicest way possible, because I understand that they're concerned about their future. I get it. But you did make your own software, and all these other companies have been making their own software, trying to get everybody over to their platforms. Serato, with no actual hardware anywhere, would have been out of business if everybody decided they were going to take a mass exodus to all these other companies. So Serato has a right to protect its future, and so does InMusic. But that's just my opinion. Hopefully they're not angry with me for sharing my opinion, because it's just an opinion. I have absolutely no stake in either company. It is what it is. I like Engine OS. I like Serato. I like Rekordbox. I like Virtual DJ. I like Algorithm DJ. We will see how this comes together. It's going to be a very interesting few months. Very interesting. All right, guys. If you found what I said here useful, hit that like button. If you found what I said here really useful, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on the Instagrams and the Twitters. Get on my Discord, because that's where we're talking about all things Cleveland Terry. Let me know in the comments below what your feelings are on this matter. Let me know what you think. Let's talk about it. A lot of times the companies will come to the comment section and kind of get a feel for what everybody's thinking, kind of, feel it out. So we'll see what happens. But put your opinion down in the comments below, and let's go from there. All right, y'all. Guys, girls, Always a pleasure. If I don't talk to you later, but I will talk to you later because I have Tech Thursday in a few hours, we'll talk soon. Peace.